It's time to take 10 minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Parshat Mikeitz, the Mikeitz Chanukah Connection. We know that very often the Chanukah and Parshat Mikeitz coincide. And as a result, it behooves us to find connections between Parshat Mikeitz and Chanukah candles. So we look in the Parsha and we ask, what is Yosef doing? He gets up there and he says that I don't interpret dreams. God interprets dreams. Tell me. He says that, and then Paro says, wow, did you ever see anybody who is has such a spirit of God? There's no one as wise as you. I'll put you right in charge of everything except for the throne of Paro itself. If you ask, what is going on there? What is this all about? One might argue that Yosef is one of the first people, after Avraham perhaps, who was engaged in a clear case of Kiddush Hashem, the sanctification of God's name. So Rambam describes in the laws of Hilchos Deos, Hilchos Yisodei Torah, he describes the notion that if people say that I wish my son would be like this person, that this person is so wonderful, he's benachas mabrios, he has such a wonderful way about him, and he's a ben Torah, and he's a person filled with Torah and mitzvot, and is a Talmud Chacham, a scholar, and people are saying, wow, Ashrei Yolado, I wish people would have, more mothers would have children like this. If someone is like that, Harei ze Kiddush Hashem. That is a Kiddush Hashem. And that's what we have in this parsha. It's a Kiddush Hashem. The notion that the Jews in Golus, the Jews in the exile, the Jews in Egypt can bring about sanctification of God's name. People could say, wow, there's no one like this. It reminds us of the words that we're going to find in Devarim, that Rak Am Chacham v'Navon Hazeh. Pharaoh called Joseph a Navon v'Chacham, and the Torah says that if we keep the Torah, then people will say that, wow, Mi goy gadol shelo chukim shvatim tzadikim umi goy gadol asher who is a great nation like this that has the great wisdom of the Torah, like the people of the Torah, like the people of the book, like the Jewish people. There's no one like us. So this notion of spreading the word about God is found in our parsha, and that's what Chanukah is all about. Chanukah, one might argue that the mitzvah of the Hadlakas Neros Chanukah is not simply a mechanical mitzvah to light candles to remember a certain miracle. No, it's Pirsumi Nisa. It's all about the spreading the word about the great miracle that happened for the Jewish people. We put it in our window as if to say we want everybody to know about it. In fact, there's a minhag to do it in shul. Because why? So the Rivash, one of the he's from Algeria, he says, I'll tell you. You know why we light in shul? Talmud says to light it in your home, in your window or on your doorpost. So why do we light it in shul? Because today we really we don't necessarily put it in the door. We don't necessarily put it in the window because we're afraid that people will persecute us. They're going to have put graffiti on our house or something. So a lot of people have to keep their menorah court of hashash. Oh, so then where's the Pirsumi Nisa? Where's the Kiddush Hashem? Where's the sanctification of God's name? Answer is that we light it in shul. By lighting in shul, at least we can spread the word to a lot of people. At least the Jewish people, we can spread the word. So that's part of the idea of lighting it in shul, is this Pirsumi Nisa. That's why we light in the window, Pirsumi Nisa. This notion of connecting Kiddush Hashem, the notion of sanctifying God's name, making people say, wow, the Jewish people, wow, a Jewish person, that's incredible, that's great. Mikam Chayisrael, who is as great as the Jewish people? This notion that this is connected with Pirsumi Nisa, with the spreading of the notion of the miracle of God, this is supported by Rav Avraham ben Arambam in a sefer called Maaseh Nisim, where he's conversing with Daniel Habavli, talking to this figure, and there he tells him that, when we sing Hallel, we sing praises to God, In some ways, it's a kiyum d'oraisa. It's a Torah mitzvah. Why? Because we're sanctifying God's name. Pursuing Nisa, the spreading of the miracle of God, is a Torah fulfillment. And that's how Rabbi Rosenzweig, the Rebbe of my children, the father-in-law of my son Asher, Rabbi Rosenzweig explains that the Rambam goes nuts when it comes to Chanukah. He says, well, you should sell your shirt on your back to buy the Chanukah candles. Shirt on your back, just a rabbinic mitzvah. Don't get so excited. What's the big deal about it? No, it's a very big deal. Why? Because it fulfills the Torah idea. What's that? Kiddush Hashem. Spreading the word about how great God is. And that's Hallel also. In Hallel, we share with the crowd, we say a refrain, we sing the song, and we tell how great God is. This Parsha is all about how Yosef sets the model for Jews in the diaspora, Jews throughout the world, where we can spread the word and the good news about how great God is and how great the Jewish people are, because they are His people. The Chanukah candles similarly tell that story, that when you light it on the window, it's not just, say, once upon a time there were some Maccabees and they won some wars. No, it's telling us, Hallelujah, Halil Nashir Hashem. It's all about the Hallel. There's no difference between the Hallel that we say in Shul and the Chanukah candles themselves. They sing song to God, and therefore, in that sense, they sanctify God's name. In that sense, they fulfill that Torah mitzvah. We look forward to a day when indeed the nations of the world will say that there's no one like the Jewish people, that it's amazing, that the Jewish people are so amazing, that every Jewish person is a great sanctification of God's name, that everyone will say, Mi ka'amcha Yisrael, who is like the Jewish nation. We look forward to the day when, as it says in Parshat Vaychanan, that it says there that, look, I've taught you many special laws, they're really beautiful laws, and you should keep them, because that is your wisdom in the eyes of the nations. Well, here there's these laws, and they'll say, Rak am chacham v'navon. This nation is chacham, it's wise, and it's navon, it's understanding, has great understanding. Just like Paro says to Yosef, in navon v'chacham chamocha. There is, in Devarim it says chacham v'navon, here it says navon v'chacham. Same idea, same difference. The goal is that through the study of Torah, we should come to such wisdom and such beauty and such spirituality that everyone should say, wow, there's no one like the Jewish nation. There's no one who is so close to God like the Jewish people. When they had trouble with the Greeks, what happened? God came to their aid. When they have trouble today with the Iranians, what happened? God came to our aid. When we have trouble today, Hezbollah and Houthis and everybody else, God comes to our aid, and God willing will continue to save us. And nations of the world and people throughout the world will continue to say, wow, this is amazing. The Jewish people have a special connection with God, and everyone can have that great connection by learning about God, learning about the Torah, and connecting with God and the Jewish people, Torah of the Jewish people. And with that, indeed, will be Kiddush Hashem, God's name will be sanctified, and will be fulfilled. The verse we say in Kaddish, based on the verse in Chezkel, that Yikadel v'Yikadesh Merabah, that God's name, indeed, will be made great and holy throughout the world. Thank you for joining us here at the Baron Hirsch Congregation for our discussion of Parsha Mikeitz and Chanukah. Join us each week for a discussion of the Parsha. And thanks to Jason Lefkowitz, our producer. Thank you.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.